Okay, so in this video, this deck profile, we're doing one on a wizard. This will be for a pink-blue, like burn, I guess, or damage deck. So for the first card we have four lucifers. So again, this card is one of the main ones from set 3 that all the decks have to build around because of its ability to come in at instant speed and, you know, deal 5 damage. Again, that's why we're using wizard, so that way we'll always have the 2 energy to be able to play Lucifer. Next, we're running 2 cosmic efreets. So the CNT for this is to deal 1 damage to your opponent, but if not, because we are using it in a hand-based deck, the touchdown is the 2 damage to everything, and later on the deck we do run G&G armament, so it can be used as a one-side potential board wipe, like again Lucifer. This card is also 3 strike, as well as it's also an owl, so if you need to, you can enhance over this card with Lucifer. In this deck we also have 2 Eds. There's only, I think, 1 event in this deck that we can really utilize with Ed, and it actually works well with his discount. So with Ed's discount, his is one of the more odder discounts, where he actually discards a card from your hand rather than like put it on the bottom, which I guess facilitates his ability to, you know, once per turn you can DR3 to play a Wonderverse event from your graveyard without cost, and then you remove it from the game afterwards. So I guess you want to like pitch that event so that we can play it. So we're using that for, that's why we're using Ed, as well as we're also using it for his 5 damage when it comes into play or when he gets checked. We're also running 2 Major 1 Army Garrison. We never really get to discount him for the military because most of our deck is, I think none of our deck is military other than him. But again, when he comes into play, you can search your deck for a G&G armament, put into play, and then his cover me is when he attacks, he deals 1 damage, but then with the 1 G&G armament, he deals 2 when he attacks. So if you need to, he can become like a 6 power clearing if like your opponent has something in the defense that you want to get rid of. As well as gets out our G&G armaments a little bit faster, so that way we can do more damage with our units. Because we're running pink, we're also running Space Lancelot Camelot. So Space Lancelot has a charge shield and double attack, and when it comes to play, you just put the top card under as a shield. Being a double attacker is really good for clearing out pesky units, and again, having 5 HP, 5 attack is very relevant. Also, having charge shield, you can also put him in the defense zone if you really want to, because maybe you might need to defend yourself. And then again, being 3 cost is not too much of an issue with wizard, because we always will untap 2, and then if we don't actually use the energy, the next turn we'll untap with the 3 energy full, so that way it'll be it's not as detrimental as like other ruler based decks. For our legends, we are running 1 Captain Liberty and 1 Masashi. So both are very good. Masashi is also a 3 strike attacker, as well as, you know, it's like Captain OMG, where when it comes to play you can destroy any card or any unit, but you can also use it for his last ability to like burn your opponent for the last 2. Because we do have low HP, there's a higher chance that when we get attacked we will be able to use his ability. Next, we're running 4 A7 Duchess. So this one is mostly for the Reagan Leaf trait, for Lucifer, that we can enhance over, as well as it's also a 5 power clearer, as well as it also, when it comes to play, you can just burn your opponent for 1. Next, we have 4 Zombie Slugger, because again, we are running G&G. This can be played at instant speed, so again, with Wizard, we'll always have energy untapped on their turn. And when it comes to play, you can deal 2 damage to something, but again, it increases more with more G&Gs that you have. That can actually clear a lot of different units. The only downside to this card is that it can't be placed in the defense zone. So a lot of times the deck will have both of your attack zones full, so you have to like end up replacing one of your other units to play it, to get rid of their unit. But it can be very good for stopping some plays. Next, we're running 2 A7 Cheshire Cats. So this is mostly a defensive card where you can use it to strengthen the HP of, say, your Lucifer or your Cosmic Efreets from opposing Lucifers, or 5 damage increments, as well as can also be used defensively, as like when you're being attacked, you can summon it to your defense zone. so that way you can prevent an attack. Lastly, or sorry, not lastly, but we also have two old granny Tachyons. So she's mostly in here for being a 2-strike, as well as she dodges attacks. So if your opponent tries to like attack her, if you have like open attack slots or defense slots, you can actually move her around. So that way she can like dodge attacks. She's also mainly because she's a Reagan leaf, so she can be enhanced again with Lucifer. So it's some things where she can dodge the attack, so that way she can stay around. That if I do need to enhance over her with Lucifer, so that way Lucifer can stay in the field, because she'll get rid of the charge. That's why she's in here. If not, you could remove her for like for 2 more Cheshire Cats. Next we have 4 Forest Fairies. So this card is good against Breakthrough, as well as against another Owl card for our Lucifer. Next we have 4 Embrace of Aeons. Again, just a very good card for dealing with units with pesky abilities like Aris, or any unit with Charge Shield. And again, when you hit the counter, there's also times you can actually play it without using discount, because again with Wizard you untap the 2, but sometimes you could have the 3 where you could actually just pay it without having to pay the discounts. You may not have to discard cards, or sometimes even the DR would come up as well. Then next we have 4 High Power Phaser. So this card is there's a Cobra variant of it in the Japanese version, so they don't actually have this variant specifically, but it's the same exact card. But we're using it as a defense card, so you can either DR3 or you can put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck to make it cheaper. But again, with Wizard, because we always have 2 energy, we can actually just play this for the 2 energy if we need to, so we don't need to like pay those extra resources. It can also be played from our hand, which is why it's a very good defensive card. And then you can also, so it also lets you divide 3 damage among any number of units. So again, with G&G armament, we can divide the damage up more. This is also the only target we have for Ed, which is why Ed is only like a 2 of. Because potentially he can like come in, deal 5 damage to something, and if that's enough to kill it, you can use the High Power Phase in your graveyard and like finish it off, and then like maybe kill another unit. And then of course you have 4 G&G Armin. So again, this just increases the damage for to units from a lot of our cards like Ed, Lucifer, or even like the Major. We're also running 4 Space Cave, because again, very good defensive card, being able to rest your opponent's ruler or one of your opponent's units, as well as if we do draw it, it can be used to prevent at least 2 damage. And then with Wizard, you always want to be on the more defensive side because of our low HP. The last card we have is 4 Shields Up, because again, more defense, so that way we can prevent damages, because a lot of times our middle slot might be open, because again, like with Zombie, he can't be placed in the middle, but the whole point is to like get rid of your opponent's units while on their turn, so that way the only main attack you're taking is like the opposing ruler, and then that's what like Shields Up and Space Cave can be done to like kind of like lower the amount of damage that you're going to take, so that way you can survive long enough. But that's it for this deck profile. And again, the deck list will be in the description below again, with the full names of all cards, so that way you can see if you aren't clear of which card I was talking about, so you can look through those. And then if you have any questions, you can always put in the comment section below. But with that, thank you for watching, and then I'll see you guys in the next one.